Hello and greetings, fellow painters. I'm Tom, and I'm back as your host on this painting journey. Today, we're painting the Temple of Venus on the outskirts of Loughborough in the heart of England. It's on a hill. My wife and I saw this structure when we came into town the first time. We're intrigued by it ever since. We did some research and a little bit of digging to find out what it was, how we can get to paint it, and everything else. It's actually on a private farm. It's chained off. And because it's on private property, I always ask permission from the owners before trespassing and getting in trouble. And it's fenced off and secluded on the ridge of a hill. But it's fenced off and secluded on the ridge of the hill, making it even more picturesque. But when I got close up to it, enough to see the details, it was abandoned. A graffiti-covered derelict ruins of a temple. Gate to it was chained and locked to prevent trespassing, and as I got closer, I got to the place. I was a little less enamored with it. It was a case of good from far, far from good. So I left, and the next day, I went back and tried to erase what I learned the day prior. I went to the angle I first saw it from, that majestic hilltop image. I got a little closer, and I was like, yep, that's it. That'll be my painting. That would be what I want to capture. So I set it up and started, as I always do. Once you get in a good practice in place, you find you have your own rhythm. It allows for a good setup and comfort in an uncomfortable and difficult situation. The wind was a little sharp today, but not too bad. Slight breeze kept things cool. And my first decision with this was composition. Where was I going to put the subject? That's a huge question. It's a question that plagues many artists. How do I show this the way I want to show this? Many in my audience will understand. Will they interpret it immediately correctly? Will they get it right? There's many composition arrangements, but this subject, it's kind of square with a little dome on top, kind of forces you into either a straight on, high, low, or off center. But since I saw it on a hill, I was going to attempt to make sure it looked like it was sitting on a hill. So I put the horizon on about the top third line. And there's this lush green, some slight warm yellow tans in the field going up the hill, small cut of a dirt road off, with a small cut of a dirt road off to the left, slightly at an angle. At the base of the hill was a row of overgrown shrubbery, some dead trees. It's a very picturesque scene, great backdrop for many adventure movies I've watched when I was younger, especially those old Ray Harryhausen movies I remember fondly. This would be my composition. This is what it reminded me of. As I was studying the temple from this angle and distance, I could see many details, but not the graffiti, and this was reassuring. The cloud cover is moving fast and affecting the shadows and lighting quickly, so I had to stick with the hard lines of the shadows as best I could. Speaking of the clouds, I think it's time to bring up one of the villains of this story. If I'm the protagonist in this journey of this story, then there's definitely an antagonist. And it's only fair, especially on today, that we bring up this painting, and it's our old friend Mother Nature. That's right, she was at it again. Towards the end of the painting, Mother Nature said I was done painting whether I agreed to or not. I was at a stopping point. It didn't matter. She sent some rain to ensure that I was done. I did pay attention to the weather forecast, but in England, it always rains. So you got to pick the time. And there's a 90% chance of rain. The sun will be out all day. When they say there's a 10% chance of rain, you'll be in a monsoon. I don't get it. So I looked at the radar weather Doppler, interpreted that to the best of my ability as to when I was going, and it looked like I had enough time to execute my mission. And the true answer to that was barely. I would have liked a little more time to work on this painting. I probably will revisit the subject in the future, but for this project, this painting is done due to rain. Oil and water do not mix, and I like the progress I was at, so I was forced to stop. So importantly, be mindful of your conditions when you attempt a similar project in your future. Unexpected consequences may directly affect the outcome of your intended efforts. Dealing with technical issues, supply issues, transportation, travel issues, weather issues need to be carefully considered when attempting something of this nature. Pun intended. But learning the weather patterns of your area you're working in is a point of immersion in your environment that you can't take for granted. There wasn't any people in the area to watch, ask questions, so I was alone in my thoughts and painting the entire time. It was refreshing and I felt I could get it done quicker. The lack of social interaction was noticed. I do enjoy the stories I get from the people who pass by, watch my painting. So this is definitely going to influence the rest of the series, uh, whether it's a story I can share or modify or use in the future. They're inspiring other people to say, hey, you can do this too. As well as you viewers. If you feel like, hey, I can do it, Tom can do it, I can do it. Go ahead. Do it smart. Learn from my mistakes. I'm trying to share them as best I can here with you and do so. And there you have it. Temple of Venus in Loughborough. Tune in next time we go over someplace new to paint. I'm thinking we're going to Derbyshire. Find this potential windmill tower. We plan on bringing you along on our next adventure. So don't miss out. Smash that bell, turn on notifications so you'll be alerted of all upcoming content. A huge thank you to those that have already liked and subscribed so you can keep up to date on all our adventures. And I hope you have a good day. Happy painting.